Thank you for watching Vintage Weights PGH. Please support the channel by purchasing apparel through the link in the description or at www.vintageweightspgh.com. Old weights, new gains, and lift history shirts are printed on high-quality next-level t-shirts, and they are available in multiple sizes and color options. Thank you for supporting the channel. This is my reflection on Stage 2 of the ArmliftingUSA Super Series, which at the site that I competed at started out with the Raptor handle, 2-inch Raptor handle from Country Crush, which is made of a composite. Wasn't a big fan of this implement. It was unnecessarily slippery, I guess I would say. I came in at like 132, and then I hit 142 pounds. You'll notice I'm doing right and left hand. That's something I saw Jason Dingy doing on Stage 1, and I thought, oh, that's a pretty good idea. That way I'm not just like killing my right hand the whole day. And then that was, I believe, my top lift, 142. I might be failing here, yeah. So 147 was a fail. What I learned from this event was from Zach Mullins, I believe. At one point, he had failed a lift, and then he walked away from the weights, and he said to the judge, hey, just tell me when there's 10 seconds left. And he basically just took a break for the rest of the minute for whatever, 40, 45 seconds. That was a sore neck Saxon bar, and this is an Arm Assassin Strength Shop Saxon bar. We used the Arm Assassin for this event, and I really tried to bend my thumbs in like a diamond pattern, if you will, which is what Ben Helms had given me some advice about. And I'm working my way from 120 all the way up to about 145, and I started to feel it. So then my top lift here is 150 pounds on the dot, even. Something that I took away from this one was to really examine it and look for the best spots in terms of chalk on it, or in terms of where it had been worn away by other competitors. Spin it over. It's the same on both sides, and you're allowed to use either side. So you're also allowed to apply some more chalk to it. So that's all stuff that I wasn't doing and I saw other competitors doing. I believe this is my fail of 155. I was disappointed with this showing. I thought I had more in me when it came to Saxon bar. So I might try spacing my hands out a little further, and I'm also not dropping my hips into it too much. Next up, we have the hub, and this is freestyle, which means you're not grabbing it like that, you're grabbing it like this, kind of like a doorknob. This one was probably my best lift of the day, best event of the day. So I was really starting to feel the wear and tear in my thumbs, and I worked up from 47 pounds all the way up through attempts up to 70 pounds before. This is where I fail it with my weak hand, my left hand. So now that's an instant indicator, like, okay, if I'm failing it with my weak hand, I need to start bringing down the jumps, and instead of going 5 or 10 pound jumps, I'm going to take 2.5 pound jumps from here on out. My top lift was 75 pounds even, and on that lift, I did exactly what I'd seen people doing with the Saxon bar. I had some trouble with it, so I spun it around just to get a different feel of the hub. There I go, spinning it around. And just that little bit of difference, I don't know if it was psychological or if it was, a practical thing, but either way it worked, and I got the lift. Next up were 2 events for Mike Saffel of Saffel Performance. That's the venue and the host of this Super Series Stage 2. His East Ohio Grip Championship, EOGC, that's been running for a couple years, and these are the implements for it. He counted all 3 of the lifts that we just did, but then he also counted in the Napalm Nightmare. And that's made by Jed Johnson, Napalm. And it's the 2 3/8 inch handles on it. And I was pretty happy with my performance on this, especially given how tired I was after the first 3 events. I started out at 198, and here I am working my way all the way up. And my top lift was 248. My goal for the future is to crack 300 on it, which I think is possible. I know that's a big jump from 248, but I feel like fresh and with more training, because I've only had my Napalm Nightmare for a couple months, I think I can get it. Next up, one of my favorites, Jokabug, the lazy old fucker. This is the doubloon. The doubloon is a key pinch grip. So you're pushing it up against your index finger and pinching with your thumb. And with this one, I was pretty disappointed. I mean, to be fair, it's the 5th event of the day, but I'd done way better than this at home. I got up to 48.5 pounds. That was my top lift, and then I failed 51 pounds. So I was pretty disappointed. Thank you so much to John Jokabug for making me this implement so I could train for it. What I need to do, and what I lesson learned here, is I need more volume in my training. I'd been training these implements on separate days, and the reality is you're going to use them all on the same day. So in the future, training for competitions, I'm going to incorporate at least one volume day into my grip training, where I train a couple implements that'll be contested all in the same day, all the way to, heavy weights. So, doubloon, although I love it, did not go too well on this particular day. Overall, though, thank you so much to Mike Saffel for having me at Saffel Performance for the ArmliftingUSA Super Series, and thank you to ArmliftingUSA for putting on this satellite-based competition. There I am, failing it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. This is Vintage Weights PGH.